What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinn Way Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video on the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Indy Pacers. We just found that out today. Well, now it's tomorrow when you all see this video. But this is going to be a decent series. I really wanted to see this when the season started. I thought Paul George, he had the talent. He had the right pieces. Thaddeus Young, Miles Turner, an athletic center that can protect the paint, and he's very mobile. Thaddeus Young is a long, lanky body, and he's big. Paul George, coming back from his injury, he had a whole season to get ready. Then he had the off season, and he was going to come back better than ever. And he did shoot the ball more efficiently than he did in previous years, which is an improvement because his shot selection can be horrendous. But I really wanted to see these teams match up, whether it was in the Eastern Conference Finals or in general. Cavaliers absolutely embarrassed them a lot of the times they played in the regular season. But Indy, they won 5 in a row. They playing different. They playing more focused, even though they played a lot of teams that really wasn't that good, including the Hawks team they beat yesterday. But they still showing that they getting it together offensively. Their chemistry got better, and they ended the season the right way because they was 2 weeks ago they was really not even in the playoffs. They was tied with the Heat and Bulls, and they really was the 9th, and then they won, and it was just transitioning every day. But they locked in the 7th. The Cavaliers, they a little down this year. They only won 51 games. LeBron not playing a lot of games. LeBron been resting just for the playoffs, even though he been playing a lot of minutes at the same time. He got his rest at the end of the season. And the Cavaliers, they really is terrible defensively. Larry Sanders can clean that up a little bit, but he haven't played in years. He's a defensive anchor sometimes. He can help weak side. He can contest shots. He do have a little problem with the attitudes, but that's why when you plan on a winning team, you don't really have to worry about getting mad about petty stuff because y'all always in position to win. With LeBron James, you can't really count this team out because he is great. He is a great passer. He's a great finisher. He shoots efficiently from the field. He can get his shot pretty much anytime. He's an improved spot-up three-point shooter, and he actually added a little bit more range. I know LeBron got hot every once in a while, but LeBron this season showed that he got more range consistently. And Kyrie Irving is another player that can take over a series. I know he didn't make the playoffs when he had the team by himself, but he showed that he can go for 30, 40 points any given night ever since he's been a rookie, and he hit game winners when he was a rookie. Kyrie Irving doesn't stray away from the spotlight. He lives in the spotlight. He loves close games. He loves being clutch. He loves showing up. And the Cavaliers, Kevin Love, he's had an all-star season. He had a lot of injuries, but he's still putting up decent numbers. He's still having one of his better seasons since he's been with the Cavs. And they're going into the playoffs so far healthy. They lost Bogey, but replaced him quickly. Darren Williams got a little streaky. He got a little hot because he's been getting a little bit more minutes. He don't really have to do that much on his team, but they're deep. They're going to be annoying to guard. They can cause a lot of matchup problems. They can throw out a lot of lineups. But the thing about it is Indiana can do that too. They can play small ball with Miles Turner at the 5. They can play big with Paul George, Thaddeus, and Miles Turner, or Al Jefferson, but he injured. I don't know if he came back yet. And they can play small and big. So when you're in a playoff series, the game becomes more challenging and it's harder to score because teams are game planning how to stop this player, how to shut down this player, and you have to keep making adjustments every game of the series that give you a chance of winning this whole series. I'm not saying that the Pacers are going to make the Cavs go. Like, the Cavs got a tough way to go if all the top seeds win, but the Pacers is going to be a decent challenge. I'm not the biggest Nate McMillan coaching fan. Like I said, I like the Frank Vogel better, and I thought that they should never win away from Frank Vogel because he showed basically he can win. He almost made it to playoffs even without Paul George. Frank Vogel showed that he can coach with any roster and still give him a chance to win. This Nate McMillan team, they only won 42 games. And they had just barely made it to the playoffs, even though they're the 7th seed. They had to wait to the last day to get in there. So I like the Pacers' versatility that they can throw at them. They can throw a lot of bodies on this roster. They can put a lot of different people, Paul George, Thaddeus. They have a lot of weapons too offensively, but their offense is a problem. They can't score consistently. They have trouble getting good shots. They don't move the ball around enough. They settle a lot for tougher shots. And with that being said, it's going to be hard for the Pacers to win this series. But the best part about the series is the Cavaliers just ain't the same. They're not cruising through the season. They're not dominating games. A lot of their games have been close. They've been letting even bad teams run the run the scores up. Like, they can't guard nobody. And I know that when you watch the Pacers play the Cavs, I think, beat them every game of the season and blew them out twice with Kyrie and Kyle Korver. But that's how explosive this Cavs team can be. This Cavs team can put up a lot of points. This Cavs team can actually be unguardable at times, but their defense sometimes can give away games because they go in those moments where they can't stop anybody. They go in those moments where they just look lost, and they have to figure out how to get this back on track if they want to win a championship, because it's going to be hard to do it. They might get out of the East, but it's going to be hard to beat the team coming out the West, because most of those teams are the top offensive teams in the NBA. And if you can't stop the Pacers, if you can't stop the Magic, if you can't stop the Nuggets, it's going to be harder to stop players and teams that have superstars and have a lot of weapons. And this Pacers team, like I said, they're stagnated offensively. They don't get good shots. They take a lot of tough shots. They don't really trust each other. They don't believe in each other. They don't really have as much ball movement either. This Pacers team, they snuck into the playoffs, but they have Lance back. He brought a little bit more energy. They playing a little bit more focus. They're trying harder. They're pushing themselves. And Paul George, he wants to beat LeBron. He said in the beginning of the season that this is his season to test LeBron because he had a lot of talent, but the season didn't play out that way. But he has LeBron, and he can prove, like, hey, this is what I wanted. He have to go out there, walk the walk, talk the talk, and beat LeBron in the first round. Is it going to be easy? No, because LeBron got a better team. LeBron got better players. LeBron offensively is significantly better than the Pacers, and they don't even play all their players a lot of the time. So the best part of this series is the matchups and the versatilities that they can throw out lineup-wise. I got the Cavs winning this series in probably about 6. I think Paul George is going to have some of those games. I think Jeff Teague going to step up some games. I think somebody like Miles Turner can have an explosive game and have an impact. Like I said, the Cavaliers team, they're not dominating this year. They're not scary this year. And on top of that, their defense is anemic this year. So it's not the same Cavs team years ago where they beat the Hawks just with LeBron James. No Kyrie was missing some games and they still was able to beat the Hawks. This is a Cavaliers team that can't guard nobody, and people actually can run it up on the score. So with that being said, Cavs to finish this series in about 6, and they should be able to carry that into the next series. The more the Cavs play, the more chemistry they get against these playoff teams, the better they're going to gel together, because they still got new pieces like Kyle, Darren, Larry, that they're still trying to integrate in their offense and defensive schemes. So once they get back on the same page, the Cavaliers should be heading back to the finals. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. It'll be in the comment section in the description. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. It'll be in the comment in the description. Like those on Facebook. Check out the website. Subscribe if you like the video. And I have the rest of the playoff prediction for the East coming up later on today.